Hello and welcome. My name is Kent Rohr. I'm the sales engineer for Maxmatech, and today in this video we're covering the maxAI PC tool, the settings part of the tool only. We'll be covering the cluster, custom parameters, and another video. First off, I'll show you the version that we're working with. Build version 2.3.1.2. I've got a cluster connected to it via USB. As you can see above, it's connected with a green light. First section is the cluster model. You'll have a drop down here to select 4 different models, depending on what you're using. Once you're connected, you cannot select anything different. It will auto-recognize what you're using. The custom parameter sections where we'll jump into on another video where you actually do the CAN J1839 protocol, descriptions, names of everything that you want included on the device when you get into setup. This next section is the clock menu, which allows the setting of the time and date. You can use an up and down arrows to set the time, and you can pick via the date here. You can also hit the synchronize button. This will synchronize to your PC. The international menu will allow you to change the units of measure. The options are imperial, metric, KPA, and metric bar. In the future software releases will include the option to change the type of language here. The service interval menu allows you to set the service time intervals for both the hours or travel distance. So to enable this feature, you need to select enable and then select which version of what you're enabling that you want to modify. So hours, drop down menu, pick your hours for service, and then travel distance, drop down menu to select your travel distance for service interval enabled. Next section here is the odometers, hours menu. The odometer and the hour menu can be configured to use CAN J1839 signals or the input 4 configured as a frequency input. So note that the user should configure the input 4 as a frequency counter. This is in your setup portion of this tool for the inputs, and then assign to the vehicle speed gauge. So it'll be setup gauge sources tab, then frequency checkbox will be enabled, and then the ppm pulses per mile text box will be available. The hour meter will have the real-time clock configuration available. So during this mode, the hour meter will count the time from the RTC internal module. The trigger for this counter will be the RPM value from the input that's configured as the tachometer input. So we can check that here. Next is communication menu. This will allow you to set the baud rate independently for each CAN channel. You have 2 CAN channels for the 430, which will be necessary for the system of the maxAI 430 to be used. So when we go down here, you can select 250, 500, or auto, and then the next channel 250, 500, or auto. Last section here is the Bluetooth name. This is the name that you want broadcasted as your Bluetooth device. You can change this accordingly, along with your cluster address, which is standard at 17, but you can modify that as well. Note that when you connect to the maxAI, you can connect through USB or through Bluetooth that's being broadcasted. Once you're connected, you can modify everything you need in setup and then flash accordingly. That's it for this video. Our next video will be covering the cluster portion, custom parameters, making sure you do all this before you jump into your setup portion of the PC tool. Thank you.